Blessed are the eyes that see what you see. For I tell you, many kings and prophets have desired to see what you see, and have not seen it. To hear what you hear, and have not heard it. I thank you, Father, for hiding these things from the learned and the wise, and revealing them to the innocent and the simple.
Are you serious? Are you serious? You're looking at the Empire State Building, and the image that was projected upon it is the Hindu goddess Kali, or also known as the Dark Mother, also known as the goddess of death. Matter of fact, there's a temple in Calcutta, India, where the statue of Kali is erected, and thousands of people go there to worship the goddess of death. And I've been to Calcutta, India, and in 1997, the city, literally, the stench of death in that city was insanely incredible. Well, this is the Empire State Building, and here's why, folks. If you lift up idol gods, they will bring death and disease and poverty upon the land.
Oh, look at Tony's car. Tony's car. My car.
Now, a lot of this floodwater has since receded, but the dangers are going to be back later on in the day as more storms will be generated as we head into Tuesday evening. We'll, of course, keep you posted. Let's hope we don't see more scenes like this.
That water is rushing. It is really fast, grabs your attention, but you know what? The flood is so unbelievable that it takes away from the huge hail that you see in the picture right there.
I was going to say, it looks almost like snow, but it's summer
It's
there.
it's not snow. It is hail, that is for sure. It does look like snow.
Sky watchers are in for a treat this week. This year's Perseid meteor shower is expected to be stellar. NASA predicts up to 100 meteors an hour, and with a new moon, stargazers will have dark skies just as the light show peaks, overnight on August 12th and 13th. The celestial pyrotechnics will be visible throughout the northern hemisphere. No equipment necessary, just a seat outside and an upward gaze. The meteor shower comes from the remnants of the Swift-Tuttle comet, which the Earth passes through every year. It's named after the Perseus constellation, the area of the night sky the meteor appears to be coming from.
Buenos Aires and La Plata have been hit with the heaviest rains on record. The government has declared 3 days of national mourning, and from Buenos Aires, we're joined now by Associated Press Bureau Chief Michael Warren. Michael, can you describe what's going on? How bad is it?
You know, most of the provincial capital of La Plata was swamped. It looks much like New Orleans looked after Katrina, with houses flooded nearly to their rooftops in some neighborhoods. 2 meters of water, more than 6 feet of water in many neighborhoods, and people having to rescue themselves walking through chest-deep water. There were reports of electrocutions, lots of drownings, families who, just because of the water pressure, could barely get out of their homes, and many people spent the night on their rooftops. Flat roofs are common in Argentina, so people would climb up on the rooftops, and it was better to be there in the torrential rain than to be potentially drowning inside their homes.
they all come, but now no one comes. Now that people need help, nobody comes.
Necesitan ayuda, la gente, nadie viene. Necesitamos mercadería.
We need groceries, milk, and we can't go out. Mattresses, blankets, everything is soaked. But nobody comes to help us. It's a disgrace. Someone should come to help, someone from the municipality at least.
4 people have been rescued and sent to hospital, with 40 still missing after a landslide at a mine in Chanyang County in Changhua City. Doctors say the 4 rescued are all in stable condition. The landslide brought down 1 million cubic metres of rock and earth onto 15 dorm rooms and 3 houses of the Wuzhou Mining Company. The local government has already mobilised rescue teams, including policemen, firefighters and medical workers. Residents living nearby have been evacuated.
Debris from the ceiling rained down on concert goers in Minneapolis Wednesday night before a stunned crowd of nearly 1,000 people. People ran toward the club's exit as the building was immediately evacuated. 2 people were rushed to the hospital and a number of others received minor injuries.
All of a sudden, some of the ceiling came down and hit myself. One girl we were helping outside there was knocked unconscious and she was hit on the left side of her forehead. The other one, she was totally buried, and we got her out of there and got her away from the ceiling.
Sources say there was a leak in the ceiling of the concert hall, and likely the reverberations from the band caused the ceiling section to collapse.
Breaking news, a deadly fireball over northern China, so powerful it leveled part of Tianjin city and knocked people to the ground kilometers away from the blast site. Chemical cargo somehow caught fire, erupting in a mushroom cloud, and then a fiery shockwave that incinerated cars and shattered windows.
Blast rock Tianjin shortly before midnight local time. That's a little more than 9 hours ago. Now, according to China's Seismological Bureau, there were 2 explosions. We'll see those in the videos coming up, measuring 2.3 and 2.9 in magnitude. You can see.
我操！大半夜的干什么？吓死了！我操！什么玩意儿爆炸了呀？都他妈震住！
See them there really shaking up the city and really shocking the people who were filming them. It appears that the first explosion may have triggered the second one, perhaps because of the contents involved.
I've heard some, we're now hearing that there are 14 now confirmed dead. I've heard some accounts saying that people felt as though it was an earthquake. The sliding glass doors, as you mentioned, blown out of quite a distance from the actual site. We're looking at the video again from earlier. This has got to be an overwhelming problem for hospitals dealing with the hundreds of people.
Many of the people I'm talking to, when the first explosion took place, actually many people are just injured from these cuts, and some people have fractures. And when they are rushing out, most of them are wearing only underwear because they have nowhere to go. Some of them have returned to this compound, but they are not allowed to get their personal belongings, including their mobile phones. So currently, many of the workers living here in this compound cannot get contact with their family members to say they are currently safe. And I'm also talking to some managers here. They are going to relocate these workers from this compound and find a safer place to accommodate them. And after this, I personally don't know where this is going, and this compound is really in a mess.
快点车。哎呦我操你妈！ 哎呦我操你妈！这人全都送上了。
The big crackdown against Christians and their churches in China may be getting worse. Government workers are forcibly removing more and more crosses from church buildings. And it's not just underground churches experiencing this latest wave of persecution. Gary Lane reports.
Another cross is forcibly removed in China's Zhujiang province. This one by government workers at Lower Da Fei Catholic Church in Wenzhou. Parishioners sing Christian hymns as their church cross comes down. Mr. Chen says the cross is in our hearts. Demolition is impossible to bear. Why do they not let us believe, he asks. Have we ever opposed the government? These parishioners say they are good Chinese citizens. The government insists there is religious freedom in China. But Christians believe that tearing down of crosses, now more than 1,500, mostly in Zhujiang, China, proves otherwise. Tu Shouzhua is a senior member of Muyang Protestant Church, also in Wenzhou. He says public security police entered his church complex by cutting the lock off a gate. They came in to demolish the cross without any agreement from our church, he said. They just did it. The latest church cross removals follow the arrest and interrogation last month of more than 200 human rights lawyers and advocates. Some are strapping themselves to crosses to prevent removal. Others are even standing atop their churches, surrounding the steeples to prevent cranes from operating. And even a prominent Chinese Catholic bishop made an unprecedented public rebuke of the government's cross removal campaign. He urged Christians to resist. Some are making small replacement crosses, painting them red, and placing them at their homes and along roadways in protest. The crackdown may not end anytime soon, regardless of outside criticism. Christians say rather than causing the spread of Christianity to diminish, the cross crackdown may result in more church growth. So the Chinese government may actually be causing the very situation it was hoping to avoid.
Are you serious? Are you serious? I want to thank Nick of New York for this report. Folks, this is happening right now here in Indiana. There's been a major chemical spill in Terre Haute, Indiana. Now, here's what they're reporting. People are saying we can smell and taste acid. The chemical spill has been confirmed in Terre Haute, Indiana. The area is near a chemical plant in Vigo County. City of Terre Haute, Indiana has been evacuated and cordoned off. Witnesses are reporting feeling chemicals burning their lungs and throats. Local Channel 10 News is reporting officials have confirmed this chemical spill. Now, folks, I've got to ask some questions here. All right, we have the massive chemical explosion in China, which is absolutely catastrophic, cataclysmic. And 85 people are dead, 700 in the hospital, dozens and dozens missing. We had another major chemical explosion in Moscow, Russia, the same day. And we've had another huge chemical explosion down in Houston, Texas this morning. And now we have a chemical spill. The entire city of Terre Haute. People are being evacuated. Terre Haute, Indiana. Pray for Indiana. Jesus is coming soon. Are you saved? We're running out of time.